KAM Paranormal has been called in to investigate Carpenter's Mortuary in Gentry, Arkansas. Every October, this historic location is transformed into a spook house. It has always been questioned if Carpenter's Mortuary is more than just a haunted attraction. Unexplained happenings have been reported by various people connected to this location. Every town has a location that is said to be haunted. Is this Gentry's location? KAM Paranormal Investigation, Carpenter's Mortuary, Gentry, Arkansas, September 20th, 2024. But before we get started, please like this video and subscribe to our channel so you'll be notified of any future content that we post.
So this section here is where the funerals would have been. And everything back here would have all been workspace. So there's a set of double doors there that the hearse would have come into. So, and then those double doors there lead into the section that's the three different buildings that was all retail, and that's where the coffins were actually displayed and sold. So like the front part of it was all regular household furnitures, and furniture and furnishings, and the back part was all coffins that you could just walk into and say, well, that's the one I want. And then they would bring it back here, to put grandpa into or whatever. So, yeah. It was built in 1929. That section of it was built in 1927. And then the architect came back to finish it up 2 years later, because at the time, during 1928, he was doing the Benton County Courthouse. So it was kind of a highfalutin architect that the Carpenters hired to build this. So. In fact, it was really only one carpenter that did it. The old timers in Gentry remember the Carpenter brothers. They don't really remember them, but they remember hearing the name. So it was Ray and Roy. And Ray and Roy ran the store from the time that their father, I.W., gave it to them in the very early 1900s, because he founded it in 1896. So when those brothers took it over, they were starting to get pretty old, and Roy decided to retire, and so they disbanded it. And so in the newspaper archive, it talks about in 1927, it was, okay, Carpenter's is over after this many decades. A couple of weeks later, there's a brand new thing saying that Ray, the remaining brother, was going to actually start it all up again, and that's when he hired an architect to build this building on the site that the original thing was. So it was a wood frame building that they jacked up and moved out into the street to keep doing business while they were building this. So grand opening of the whole building was in October of 1929, and later that week was when the stock market crashed that started the Great Depression. So that's kind of the anecdotal story, is that businesses all over the country were failing. People couldn't, in rural areas, people grew their groceries. I mean, so many people had, their own pigs and cows, and definitely gardens, and everybody knew how to can. So starvation wasn't really that much of a thing during the early parts of the Great Depression in rural areas, even though the Dust Bowls were also happening. But the story is that the way the Carpenters were able to stay in business was because of the mortuary, because people were still dying to get in. So this is all the information that the heritage people down in Little Rock had to have, and then they recommend it. They vote on it, and then they recommend it to. It's the Department of the Interior actually that handles it out of Washington, and then they're the ones that say, okay, you've been voted in. It's part of the National Register of Historic Places.
Coffin real, coffin made.
This is real.
Okay. Original Ouija board? Yes, no?
No.
Okay.
I mean, let's see.
Okay, so we actually have multiple.
Yeah, there's three of them. And in terms of quote-unquote original, one of them was a Parker Brothers from like the 1970s.
Okay.
And came from eBay. So probably used at some
Okay.
point. The real story of the Warrens, you know, from The Conjuring, if you ever see a photo of Lorraine standing next to the real Annabelle, it's that.
It's a Raggedy Ann.
Yeah, and Derek, weren't you saying that was just a pattern?
So,
like you could just buy the pattern and it was just it was like a hobby kit.
Right. And Julie's aunt made that one for her.
Right.
Or not actually for her, for Debbie, for Julie's mom.
Right. But it's kind of creeped you guys out.
Yeah, well, it creeps the girls out. The girls hate it.
Gotcha.
I don't have any experience with it doing anything or anything,
Gotcha.
but the girls, they just despise it.
This particular
The big one, yes.
There was an optometrist in Gentry that when he went out of business, these are glasses frames that people had brought in to trade, and there's no doubt that all of these people are long dead because I mean you can tell by some of the styles of the frames. You see what I'm saying? So that's I like just seeing those there. I mean, it kind of creeps me out to just see all of those glasses, you know, that they belong to somebody at some point. So anyway, just the idea of something attaching itself. Just this year, I've had nothing really concrete, just sort of noises I couldn't quite explain and some strange kind of weird feelings or whatever. And this may be totally coincidental, but what I could attribute it to, and Derek and I have talked about this thing, I'll show you back here. This is the original bleeding board that belonged to the embalming room in here. So this would have been probably just on sawhorses tipped down into that sink.
Okay.
And that's how all the embalming was done. So all the blood went down into that sink through this channel right here. This just showed up back to this building at Christmas time, and it's been gone for 50 years. After 50 years, and then this year, there's been some kind of... I never see stuff that most people do. Several of the folks that are kind of part owners in the whole thing have had a few experiences over the years, but yeah, there's been a few things that have happened. Hearing noises that aren't explained, seeing lights that can't really necessarily be explained. My thing is going through the haunt, suddenly there'll be a scent, like a smell of perfume or something like that I can't attribute to anything. I do know that, Derek, you know Morgan, in her area, she was saying that she was feeling something odd. And so I'll point that out when we get there.
Okay.
This is the area that Morgan is in that I honestly can't tell you what experience she had. It's just she had some kind of experience. So
An eerie feeling.
some sort of eerie feeling, maybe touched in some way, not sure. But this section that's the funeral parlor, this nun, it's just a dummy, just a static figure. It's not an animatronic or anything. Multiple times I've come in just totally off season, middle of June, whatever, and she'll be completely slumped over. And she's not super sturdy, but it would take some force to get her to slump over. So, and the fact that it's happened a couple of different times, you know, is like, And these chairs, I don't even know where they came from. So, have no idea what it came out of. So, if it's possible for like activity to be connected to an item instead of a place, then there's this, you know.
Thank you.
Always felt not comfortable. I don't remember her name. You heard that? All you have to do is make a noise and let us know you're here, please. We just want to talk. Did you just say something?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, we said it.
Johnny.
Johnny, none. Record, cupcake.
How many people are with us tonight?
You know what? I think we're gonna go find another spot in the building and let's throw this obvious up again. See if it's- Guess.
Drop things. Hell. Funeral.
It's
Funeral.
Like
Funeral?
yeah.
Can you tell us the name of someone in this room?
Can you make it say the same word twice in a row?
That said my name.
Did it?
They said Derek.
Derek.
That's weird they'd said it twice.
He's here.
Can you say one of our names again?
Can you use the other box in the chair? Talk to the ovulus.
Derek.
Maximo.
Oh my.
Yeah, that's interesting.
That it's on the other one now.
Derek.
Georgina.
Oh my.
Yeah, that's interesting.
That it's on the other one now.
Can you? February.
Trey.
What did it say?
Can you February?
February's my birthday.
Is it?
It really is.
Robert.
Is that you doing that?
Dale.
Can you do that a little longer? Can you make another light go off?
Sunrise.
Thank you.
Virginia. Myself.
Do you like that device?
Rose.
There's the same kind of device on the chair. If you touch the red light on the chair, it'll actually play a different kind of tune.
Line. Roadway. For me.
Can you do that again for us? Can you make that go off?
No. Robert.
Is that you doing that?
Dale.
Can you do that a little longer? Can you make another light go off?
Sunrise.
Thank you.
Myself.
Do you like that device?
Rose.
There's the same kind of device on the chair. If you touch the red light on the chair, it'll actually play a different kind of tune.
Line. Roadway.
Does the spirit knock over the nun when people are here? Stomach.
There's a yes.
Faster. Interrupt.
Well, I asked if this people, if the spirit would say that none.
Yeah.
Okay. There's a ball in the nun's lap. Can you make that move? Do you usually refer to them as spirits or people?
Both. So. No, they can't. What did we ask last?
That's not the cat ball.
Oh, okay.
Thank you for answering us.
We'll ask them after it goes blue again what they like to be referred to. They can do people for green, spirits for red. Okay, people.
Are you still in this room with us?
Still in the room.
Thank you for answering us.
We know it takes a lot of energy to answer us, but we need an answer pretty quickly. We're only here for a short amount of time. If you want us to leave, make it turn green. If you want us to stay, make it turn red. So leave, make it turn green. Alright, should we head out for a while?
Yeah.
Alright, thank you for talking with us. We'll be back later.
Are you a shy person? You don't have to be shy with us. We just want to talk. We just want to get to know you better. We're very nice people. We gave you some energy. Do you think you can come communicate to us through this device that Brad has in his hand?
No.
No. Green is for yes, red is for no. And we're gonna close.
Roger, are you here with us? Green means yes, red means no. This is Roger. If you don't want to talk, make it turn red and we'll know you don't want to talk.
Freaking mic's not on.
Intention. What?
I wonder, because literally I was...
When you were holding it, it was quiet and you put it down. No, it's not why it was talking.
All you have to do is make a noise and let us know you're here, please. We just want to talk. Did you just say something? All you have to do is make a noise and let us know you're here, please. We just want to talk. Did you just say something? Is that you making that noise?
Why are you sneaking around? Just come on in here.
What was that? That was a green.
Mm-hmm.
Are you here with us now?
I don't think there's any, like,
Claims, I mean, the only thing, I don't think there's any, like, claims, I mean.